will do battle for the first time in more than a year. We welcome you into Boca Ice Center for Tampa University against Florida Atlantic. My name is Devin Serra alongside my partner Wes Moore, and we're happy to bring you this one, the first of a 3-game weekend set between two teams that have a storied history, Wes. FAU, the reigning Men's Division II national champions from AAU. This Tampa group won their first national title in Men's Division I, and you could not ask for a better matchup.
Yeah, this game's going to bring out some absolute fireworks. The crowd is here, the president is here, and it's really hype. Both teams bringing back absolute stars. Both teams excited to start off a great season.
And we know that this Tampa group did what FAU did, but in the Division I ranks, dominated their way through regular season, made it through Nationals 5-0 undefeated, and it feels like a clash of the Titans, as this is the College Hockey South game of the week, and it's also a Hockey House podcast game to watch. So as we get ready from puck drop for this one, we'll give you your quick synopsis. FAU comes into this game with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. Their only loss to Florida 2 weekends ago from their Baptist Iceplex Arena, the home of the Florida Panthers practice facility. They parlayed that, though, from a sweep over Miami, in which they had a 14-0 trouncing of the Hurricanes on night one. A 7-4, somewhat of a comeback victory, a closer game than people expected, where Brady Baser and newcomer Jackson Nieuwendyk were the stars in that one. Nieuwendyk had a hat trick in their 7-4 win. On the Tampa side of things, they come in at 2 wins and 1 loss. They're only one to South Carolina, who is also a former national champion in what was AAU. But they had a resounding 5-0 win over Liberty, and they're well coached with Nick Kuzlik.
Yeah, definitely. They started off their season raising their banner with a win, 6-1 win. And then against South Carolina, a loss against South Carolina. After that, they didn't look as good. They had a little bit of a penalty issues that they've had this entire season so far. And then they came off, bounced back after that, beating Liberty, and now they're here in Boca Raton, Florida, to face on a really good Florida Atlantic team.
And for it being so early in the season, Wes, this feels like a playoff-type atmosphere with what you mentioned, all of the student body presidents on staff here for FAU. We're going to have a ceremonial puck drop. It's got that big game feel to it here on a Friday night in South Florida. Before we get ready for puck drop, as the clock says 45 seconds until the warm-up ceremonies, let's look at your players to watch on both sides, starting with Tampa.
With Tampa, I have their returner going into his junior year, Nicholas Zeeland. He had the third most goals, the third most points, coming back on this Tampa team from last year, the highest scoring of the group of 3 that he was a part of in that national championship winning team. So expect him to be very good, try to score, put points on the board for Tampa. For FAU, I have to say Jackson Nieuwendyk. Recently, it's only going to be his 3rd game playing with this Florida Atlantic team. But his first game started out a little slow, learning his new teammates, probably still even learning a couple of their names. But in the game against Miami, when it seems like it was going to be a loss, an unexpected loss too, they were down 3-1 at one point. He came in, stepped up, him and Brady Baser, but Jackson especially scored a hat trick in that game, went off in the second period, bringing life back into the Florida Atlantic team.
Sure, I'd expect him to be on that top line with the likes of Brady Baser and Jake Murphy, who have been crucial to them and are starting to replace some of that goal scoring from a year ago. We're just about set for puck drop here from Boca Ice Center in South Florida. Next up, the starting lineups and a ceremonial puck drop. We're ready for game 1 of this 3-game weekend set. Starting goaltenders for both sides. First, the visiting Tampa Spartans. They turn to their fourth-year veteran in Kyle Meyer. Last year was all-conference third team in CHS, and he was named as the CHS third star of the month just for this recent week. He has a 2-0 record this year with a shutout and posted a 2.64 goals against average. Against average and a .961 save percentage. He was also named a College Hockey South first star of the month. Starting groups for both sides on Tampa, the defense, they'll turn to Braden Geiterman along with Tim O'Connell. Their forward groups with Jake Stapert, Nick Fontaine, and Cole Valise. Your Owls turn to a bit of a mixed top line. Tommy Ziemba slots in with the starters. Jackson Nieuwendyk coming off that hat trick against Miami last weekend. Jake Murphy on the wing as well with Brady Bezier and Nick Oliverio tagging with Ziemba. We are all set for the College Hockey South Game of the Week and a Hockey House podcast game to watch here in Boca Ice Center. Tommy Ziemba off the opening hop will take the puck out of his own blue line. This Owl group 4-1 on the year. They have had a great start to their year despite dropping a game to Florida in which they finished the first of a couple of 3-game sets they'll play this year. Oliverio gave it back to the forward, the alternate captain, Cole Valise, number 21 in black, going from left to right. First shot on Bruno, stopped. That was Fontaine trying to stuff it on the short side of the goal. Oliverio gets to it, has help with Nieuwendyk in the middle, calling for it. The newcomer, a transfer from Canisius College, NCAA Division I over the line. Bezier with a shot and a glove stop by Meyer to start out this game. The Spartans are coached by Nick Kuzlik in his third year at the helm, 5th total with this Tampa group. The Rochester, New York native is a former captain of 2 seasons for this Tampa Spartan program, and he led them to 3 national tournament appearances during his time as a player before the COVID pandemic, and was at the helm of their first national championship just a year ago. And what was AAU Division I. The faceoff was not clean as Bezier took it, so they'll replace Murphy in there to go up against Tampa Spartan. The other side, they get the faceoff win. Murphy off the hop takes a shot towards the net. That one about well wide. Picking it up, Will Fortescue, the Pearl River, New York native. His 2 brothers, one is at Boston College NCAA, the other is a freshman at Florida. Nieuwendyk lost handle of the puck. Both starting groups out there. It's a race for the puck. Ensuing quickly over the right wing. Alex Moeller trying to get past defense, waiting for help. Tampa's spreading out their forecheck, trying to open up lanes, and Biller, the captain, did a good job to force them back to the neutral zone. They reset, drop pass in the middle, weaving around defenders. Shot to Bruno, never got through. Blocked by Declan Catone. This one is kept deeper. That's Colm Trainer. Icetown, New Jersey native will get it to the blue line where it's sent deeper. Moeller once again trying to find room. Owls pressure them to move the puck. They do. Shot towards the net, wide. That one backhanded to a nifty feed! And Bruno with the save of the young season so far. Oh my goodness. What a feed to the front of the net. And he says no with the glove. That was a treat. Holy smokes, what a save by the junior netminder on the goal. It doesn't get better than that. Textbook as it flutters into the glove, and they will cover up to stop play. This Tampa group is stymied. They have tons of depth on this group. Not too many freshmen. They have as many as 13 seniors bringing up the wings on this group. As we get the play out of the Owl zone, they'll dump in the length of the ice, and it comes back to the trapezoid. Smashing hit laid out, trying to get in there quickly, move it free. David Ross. Another one quick from Carozzo over the red line back to behind the goal where Kyle Meyer stands at 6'3", 183. Spartans start the breakout over the far wing. It'll be dumped by McCann. sidestepped Biller, went off the skate of Campagne in that shooting lane. Bim, as this Owl team calls him, former captain of the M3 team last year. Carozzo absorbs the check on the near corner. Has help coming from this near wing where Watson, or rather David Ross, wearing 15, Watson's old jersey, will not be able to force the play out to the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass. Got a follow-up and gobbled up by Rocco again. There's some terrific sequences by the Spartans to start this game. That most recent shot at point blank range, I believe, from Saturdalen. Although that was such a chaotic move by the Owls defending in front. Good job by Bruno. Again, seal that post. Tampa, Pesky holds the line in. Seawagon can't find it under his wickets. Owls look flat-footed. They want to spread it out. Cuccia will just clutch it the far wing of the ice where it's back for Oliverio. Starting crew back out there, and he flips it way out of play with the short boards here at Boca Ice Center as they start to fill this thing up. Wes Moore bringing you back into the fray here. Man, what a start for Tampa. What a better save by Bruno.
For sure. Tampa started off super hot, getting a little shots on the net. It was a great save for Bruno to stop it from being a 1-0 game.
And his strength is his glove side, considering he's such a short netminder, standing at 5'8" tall. He's so quick that he can get from left to right in a hurry. That's a textbook save by the former two-time goaltender of the year in College Hockey South. Now the Tampa Spartans back into the attacking zone. Penetrante sent a shot well wide of the right post. It's been around. Georgiano can't find it. Owls do a tough time just possessing the puck for a while. Spartans are forcing them back to their own trapezoid a couple of times, and they can't get their forecheck spread out. That pass errant, intercepted and turned over. Oliverio hopped over the stick. Sayemba gets to it. Fontaine spun him around. It comes free to the point, looking for a chance. The captain, and that one was an easy scene. I believe it was a shot attempt from Danny Griffin, their captain out of Mount Sinai Hospital. All-conference second team last year. He wears number 44 in black. Spartans going from left to right here at the new home of FAU hockey, Boca Ice Center. Beautiful afternoon in South Florida. And luckily, a lot of these people missed that recent hurricane. I believe it was Umberto and another name I can't think of. But they got to enjoy some nice dry weather this week. Spartans with Fontana. He can fly back into the attack. Fontaine, rather. He gets smushed by Murphy. Got it deeper. That's Cole Valise in there. And we've got, you might hear a whistle. There's a practice going on behind us. That happens a couple of times, Wes. We had this problem against Miami. There's a shot from the high slot and seen by Bruno for another nice glove.
Yeah, FAU has definitely come out with some intentionality in what they want to do. We've talked about it before on prior broadcasts, setting the tone. You saw the one hit on Jake Murphy, broke the stick of one of the Tampa players. It's been hard hitting, trying to control the possession. Great defense so far by Florida Atlantic.
Great defense. They needed Rocco to be good at times. Jake Murphy unable to force it. Catone is there. He'll slap it off the board. Jackson Neuendijk is there in his third game, coming off that hat trick against Miami. The Owls came back from down 3-1 at the end of the first. Crazy that they won 14-0 and then had a game like that. Almost turned over. Vasiliev trying to help out defensively. They can't get it. A nice pack behind the back and they score. What a feed. Alex Muller to Cole Saturdalen, and Tampa strikes first.
What a nifty feed by Alex Muller to just shit it by Rocco Bruno, scoring it to wide open, basically, despite Rocco's best effort.
Wait, that was between the legs, Muller. They had something like that earlier, and I believe that was Saturdalen, which at point-blank range, Rocco made the stop in the first 2 minutes of this game, but that one unsuccessful for him. It's another goal by the freshman out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, his second of the year, product of the Aberdeen Wings and Amarillo in the Null. They are not done yet. Right back in on the attack, and a nice defensive play made. Another putback shot off the left pad of Bruno. Look out for this line. They are flying to start this game. 14:07 left in the early portion of this College Hockey South game of the week. It's flipped out by Leon Biller, the Owls captain, all the way to Meyer. No icing is called. Owls want a quick turnover in the attacking zone. It doesn't come this way. Campagne up at the point, swings it. He wants a shot towards the net. Owls have not been able to set up a forecheck since the first 30 seconds of this game. Controlled in Tampa's zone. They'll reverse it. Carried by James Lawhorn. The defenseman scored his first goal as a Spartan in their 5-0 win over Liberty. Left pad kick save again by the junior netminder for FAU. Comes to the red line where a turnaround dump is made by Tampa, and they want to race it. Such a quick group. They get two forwards to the puck in a hurry and jump on this Owl group. David Ross gets knocked to the ice. In there to pressure Marco Bashir. Help coming with Daniel Tove behind, and now it's freed up by Billy McCann. Tampa moving this puck quickly. They are one of the fastest teams that you will see in club hockey. This is an efficient program that's more than just a club team. They are a national champion program, and that's what they are, a program. David Ross over the blue line. Tove ran into him by accident. They've pushed to the near boards now, and the Spartans have a lane if they want it, closing the gap quickly, though. Good job by Emilio Stabile to cut off that angle. Stabile wearing number 3. He's got it. Wanted to send one towards the net. That was off the body of Nick Zeeland. And Ziemba for the Owls will collect it. Quick start to this one, Wes. We have barely had any stops. Puck flew out of stick flew out of the hands of Jacob Penetrante, wearing number 9 for the Black Sweaters in Tampa. Georgiano funneled again. Kyler Meyer, fortunate bounce, went off the Zamboni glass doors into his possession. Half board tie up. Tampa gets 2 bodies in there, trying to fish that one out. Christian Cuccia, former player of the year in men's Division 3, has help with the third line. Shot on Meyer, pad stop. Kicked to the low slot, and Tampa had more numbers there. They get over the blue line as their team is changing. A chance, and they score on the rebound. Caden Hardy finishes that. 2-0, the Spartans.
Yeah, this game has started out all Tampa. Goals from Mueller, Hardy on the rebound, and this game was really close to being 3-0 at some point. Campagna made a nice stop, kicking the puck from coming in.
Yeah, and that all happened so quickly, right? You get this at the neutral zone. All this first period, they're causing a turnover and just rushing to the attacking zone. It's really causing havoc for this defensive unit here, Wes.
It's the effect of having guys from Null, from NCAA D3.
No doubt. Spartans look up to the test. They are a veteran-savvy group. They are once again back in a seeing eye attempt. Rocco way out to play the puck, and a wide-open backdoor. Oh, my goodness, he got back for the stop. Wide-open net to shoot for Fontaine, and he couldn't finish it. And on the far wing, they had another shooter in there. I believe that was Valise. Owls back in transition. Top line back out there. Neuendijk with Bezier, and they lost handle. Carozzo defends Fontaine. Won't get there in time. Boy, almost halfway gone in this first, and Tampa is completely in control right now. They are forcing the Owls deep to the zone. There's a shot that whistles wide off the stick of Valise. The alternate captain from the point. Help coming, and the blue line turned over. Jake Murphy, one of the leading scorers from last year. He had the most in the Natty tournament, en route to this M2 group's first national title. Puck free into Bruno. Nice job to knife the puck away from the streaking alternate captain in Valise. Caught into the skates of Tyler Hagelberger, and he'll quickly send it back the other way. Owls have got to spread out the ice. No, Wes? This is an impressive showing right now from the Division I champions. There's a racing with it. Justin Lopes trying to get to it. Sman, which is a guy, rather, that's Ronan Keenan, the transfer, number 93, from UNLV's ACHA Division I team. Ronan from a high point chance. That went off the body in front. Albert Lyon. Back the other way, quickly. First goal scorer in this game, Satter Dahlin, the freshman, loses handle. Oliverio with a racing man up the right wing, quickly blazed. Pepe into the glove with no rebound on the goaltender, Kyle Meyer.
And yeah, Devin, this FAU defense looks a little discombobulated a little bit. When you're young, you're taught to play in waves of defense, having 1, 2, 3 guys. They're all over the place. There's guys here, there's guys there. They're having a bit of a problem collecting themselves and stopping this powerful Tampa offense.
And with the depth of their squad, they can run this top line 1 through 4 to really suffocate you when you have a line that doesn't keep up in terms of speed and physicality. Here's an opportunity with the puck fluttering in the slot. Nobody picks it up. Stabile loses his footing, and the Spartans, if they hurry, would have numbers. Owl did a good job getting back on defense, but now it's a race. Marco Bashir, left wing chance. Pad stop by Bruno. Daniel Tove is in there. Wants to flip it up, but not out. A one-timer blast wide of the left post. That came from Braden Geiderman. Tove with Ziemba. Wraps the far boards, comes all the way to the point. Good hold him at the line by Geiderman. It's sent along by Zeeland. Ziemba smashed into the end board glass. Oliverio once again flips it out of play. And FAU just looking for something to get their forecheck going because it's all Tampa right now.
Yeah, it's really hard to top Tampa at their best. And this is Tampa at their best. They're scoring, they're getting shots. They have to have at least 15 shots on goal already. And Rocco Bruno's really the only reason this game isn't like 6-0 already.
Boy, that would be a goal on nearly every single shot they have. My count total is 7. The Owls with just 2 or 3, but they haven't had that high-quality scoring chance yet. Face-off win by the Spartans and a flashy leather stop by the veteran netminder. And it's very simple when you get into the math of all of these players. Grad students, over 50 games played by lines 1 through 3, and then you get to some freshmen, not too many on this team. Cole Satter-Dahlin's been a breakout star for them. Marco Bashir wearing number 2. He scored his first goal against Liberty in their 5-0 win last weekend. Only game of that weekend for Tampa, but they went 1-1 against South Carolina and won on their banner-raising night, as did this FAU group. Tampa, Tim O'Connell, the defenseman, gets past 2. Vasiliev, the man there. Catone flips him in the middle, wanted to feed the trailing forward. Caden Hardy looking for a second, foiled. Christian Cuccia gets past the captain, Danny Griffin, deep to the end boards. Christian Cuccia knocked off the puck. He gets back into play. Campagna's in there to help. Wants to seal the wall, can't do it. Carozzo backs up. Good job holding the line in there by Jason Seafelt, but it comes to a Tampa player in the slot, and they'll retreat. They move so quickly from left to right. They get on these guys in a hurry and really just make life tough to establish any kind of forecheck. Brady Bezier can't get it out. The captain sails a shot well high. Spartans will just give it back to the opposition at the red line. Thought might have Will Fortescue would have held the blue line in, but he chose to play it outside of the blue paint. Blue line, that is. 7:34 to go in this first period. Devin Serra, Wes Moore with you. First of 3 games this weekend between these two sides. It's all Spartans right now with goals from their freshman and Cole Satter-Dahlin, followed up by Caden Hardy. Owls into the area of Meyer, and we've got a whistle coming up, and it's going to be a hooking call. First penalty of the night, and it sounds like it's on the Spartans.
And one of the things FAU needs to do in this game to get back in it is take advantage of the chances they're given. A power play with 7 minutes left in this period is a great way to get a goal on the board. FAU's power play has been very good this season, scoring at a high clip. So this should be an interesting next 2 minutes.
Yeah, they had a ton of power play goals against Miami. Goes without saying that it got out of hand, 14-0. They've been solid with Jake Murphy and Brady Bezier. They are out there. In the box is the captain, Danny Griffin, for Tampa. If there's one silver lining, or rather caveat to this Tampa group. It's that they take a lot of penalties. Oliveira off the face-off win. Bezier and him will play tag. They're going to be patient, look for an open lane. To the right wing, Murphy calls for it. He wants a shot towards the net. That one blocked in front, and the Spartans close the gap quickly. It's carried by Nick Zeeland over the line, and he will carry it all the way to the end boards. Now hurrying, Marco Bashir. Owls have to get nearly all 5 players deep to the trapezoid, and now they'll start the breakout. Biller, Jackson Neuendijk into his skates, misplayed it, turned the puck over, and that will force the alternate captain Oliverio to play it with a retreat. Jackson Neuendijk gets onside, drops it for Murphy. They'll switch places. Oliverio from the point. Takes a look left wing side for Brady Bezier, the speedster. Oliverio shot to the net. That had a seeing eye that might have hit a body. Leon Biller, the captain, gets pushed quickly into the boards. Bezier with a high shot off the shoulder. I think it brushed of Meyer. Now Murphy with Neuendijk. Miscommunication behind the goal. Tampa's Hagelberger puts it through his legs. Biller gets it back. Wants it for Murphy. 47 to go in the power play. Murphy backs up. Once more to the point. Oliverio left side. Quick passes in the middle. Neuendijk to Bezier. And that kicked away by Meyer. Biller has it with Murphy. They set it up with nobody in particular in the slot. I thought they wanted Neuendijk. Bezier somehow held it onside, and now it's slapped out of the zone. Tampa gets their second penalty kill group on, and the Owls with 20 seconds left get their second unit out there. Ronan Keenan, the transfer from UNLV, carries with it. He's a big body, standing 6'5" on skates. Over the wing to the slot, alone. Back at the point, Catone keeps it deeper. Aaron Lentz races after. Behind, plays Pepe trying to slam it home. He was stopped by Meyer at the pad. And with the power play expiring, Danny Griffin comes back. 0 for 1 goes the Owls on the man advantage so far. Catone with the second unit still out there. Lopes in the middle with a shot, and that one was sent wide. Called it Lopes. It's actually Keenan. And the Spartans will carry setter Dahlin over the red line. They needed that to get their line off the ice. And Catone sweeps. Not the worst power play in the world. They tried to be patient there, Wes. 4:40 left in this first period. We welcome you inside Boca Ice Center. The 4-1 Owls hosting the 2-1 Tampa Spartans. First time these two teams have been in the same league in quite some time. 3 years almost. Stabile back on side, played it off a Tampa skate. It comes free to Daniel Tove, who wants a quick pass and a turnaround, eyeing Stabile, who fell to his knees and blew a tire behind the goal. Spartans will regroup. David Ross is in there, the talented newcomer, gets it for Stabile. They've got a few points in these last couple of games. Ross scored in the opener against Florida. Chance for Tove in front. Couldn't handle the pass that went off his skate blade into his twig. Tampa has numbers the other way. They move over the line, but they're offside, as carrying that was Colm Trainer.
And while killing a power play can build momentum for a team, it's also helping Florida Atlantic. They finally started to get some offense going. Their passing was great. They found open men. They just couldn't score. But even after the power play expired, it almost looks like a completely different game. We have FAU having more chances. They've stopped Tampa's attempt on getting on their side. It's been great.
Entertaining as ever. It's 2-0 Tampa, the most recent goals. Starting off with Cole Satterdalen, talented Eden Prairie, Minnesota native. That's a very good high school out in Minnesota. And followed up on a rebound opportunity by Caden Hardy. This Tampa group, led by Nick Kuzlik, has their assistants Evan Hoffberg, who mans the forward groups. Cam Sacco, in his third season, mans the defense. And together they are a collective of young coaches that are players' coaches. They really motivate these guys, and I asked him about how you get all these kinds of talent with guys from the NCDC, the NAL, some NCAA D3, and simply put, they don't even have to work that hard. Tampa is just such a lucrative place to go, especially for sports club or NCAA, that they get the numbers.
For sure, and I know for a fact as well, when Tampa went to win the Division II NCAA National Championship in baseball, they had guys from the Tampa Bay Rays coming down and training with them and teaching them some of the stuff that they know, especially other teams in the area. You got the Buccaneers and the Lightning as well.
A very high-profile school that sits right in the heart of downtown there in Tampa, Florida. It's a very beautiful campus, and a team that this most recent year is iced by the Owls. Got their first national title, really long overdue. They were one of the top programs in the South when it was ACHA, and this was an M3 program, but really when AAU was formed and then the CHF was involved, they were always the top team in Division I, or at least M2 and then Division I. This Owl team, of course, broke through last year, although they avoided this particular Tampa squad that moved up to Division I. They split the season series last year in the opener. There's a shot from the point off of the captain, Danny Griffin, and it went well over the stanchion glass out of play. Right near the 2025 National Championship logo, which sits just above Rocco Bruno's post. It's a great crowd on hand here to watch a highly touted game. Well anticipated. The Owls have got to make it competitive, though. Georgiana with Seefeld in the middle. Shot on Meyer with no rebound is swallowed. And a reminder, fans, that tonight is Domestic Violence Awareness Night for this program. A great cause by all of the staff here. And first time we've really had a real theme night out here at Owl. Christina Serafian and Kim Casey do a great job leading the way. And it's a time to educate, empower, and support those impacted. Wear purple to show your care throughout the month of October. Owls stand strong on the field and in our community. Visit fau.edu/campuslife/DVA. Jason Seefeld has it. 3 minutes to go in this first period. Campagna to play it. 2 Tampa Spartans get after in that corner. They seal the half walls out of the zone now. Seefeld did a great job persisting on that play, who's a great defensive forward there out of Boca Raton, the junior, former product of Salem State in NCAA Division III. And Bezier lost sight of that puck. Murphy wanted to break out. Bezier just couldn't free it up. Now it's a shot on Bruno, stepped aside by Fontaine. And now they'll get a chance to get that forecheck broken out, but it's a dump and change. As Seefeld goes off, they get Catone and Neuendijk with the top line once again there. It's still stolen away. Neuendijk, open lane to shoot. Murphy couldn't get it on his twig for the attempt. Trying to just dump the ice was Penetrante. Got it stolen again. Bezier a couple of times spinning around, can't find the puck. And that forces it all the way back to Bruno. Well, they got to reset. FAU has not had the greatest period except for that power play. So they're 0 for 1 now. It has been mostly Tampa controlling the pace and, in all honesty, the physicality. Fontaine flipped it into his own man. You might hear some whistling behind us. Again, that's not on the ice. That's a practice on the adjacent rink to us. We'll let you know when there's a stoppage. Neuendijk with Bezier, who can fly. Up left wing, Neuendijk in the middle. Tries to get around one defender. Great poke check by Tim O'Connell. And Tampa gets this one to the red line. Oliverio turnaround will dump the ice. And off goes that top line. Here comes the second unit, though, in a wave. Keenan, Biller sidestepped. Nick Zeeland as they chase in after with McCann. He's pushed by Ziemba. A couple of more shoves. Ronan Keenan in there trying to force Geiderman to the ice. Still fished away. Bashir gets it free. He absorbs the check. Blaze Pepe to race with 1 minute to go in this first period. Owls got to have something at the end of this one. In the middle for Keenan, and he didn't get a quality shot off. That was well defended by O'Connell in front of the net again. The veteran fifth-year defenseman as a shot comes free. Short side attempt, and Meyer said no twice. All the way sky to Oliverio, gloves it down, and immediately sends it back into the wickets of Geiderman. 30 to go in the period now. We'll have an intermission break for you, and we'll talk with the FAU Captain Leon Biller to see what's going on with his unit. We'll get that to you at the intermission quickly. 15 seconds to go. Cross-ice feed through the legs of Tove. They can set up one more offensive chance if they hurry. Calling for it in the middle. Stabile cuts in front, and Meyer with the left pad stop. Still on the forecheck. Stabile wants to throw it in front, and it's all Tampa Sweaters there to end this period. With fireworks in the first 10 minutes, started by Cole Satter-Dolan on a great feed from Alex Moeller, followed up 2 minutes later by Caden Hardy and assisted by Will Fortescue. 2-0 Tampa at the end of the first. We'll have an interview coming up with you and the FAU captain in just a few moments. You're watching the College Hockey South Game of the Week on Owl TV. Devin Serra with captain Leon Biller at the end of the first period. Leon, your team down 2-0 to this Tampa group that came out fast. What is your guys' approach as you enter the second, trying to get some goals on the board?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a great team. They're very skilled, very fast. I think that coming out, they're our best competition so far. So we just had to adapt. I think by the end of the first, we were getting it a little bit, locking them down a little bit more. I think we're going to focus on clogging up the middle and taking away any fast breaks out of the neutral zone and out of our zone especially. So I think just playing a little bit more defensive, a little bit more systematic is going to be the key to this.
How do you guys get your breakout going at times? It looked like defensively you guys were breaking down, causing turnovers. How do you get going on the other side of the ice?
I think the biggest thing is realizing we have a little bit more time with the puck. Coming out from behind the net, we have more space than we think, and they're a fast team, but that means we just have to spread out the ice a little bit more, looking for chips off the glass and, give and goes off the wall.
And what's coach's message that he gave to you guys in the intermission?
What was that?
What was the message you got from your coach in the intermission from Christian Long?
Pretty much what we just talked about. Our biggest thing is breaking out and clogging the middle. Can't let them have breaks, and we have to be a little bit cleaner getting out of the zone.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Leon.
Thank you so much.
Back with you for the start of the second period. It's 2-0 Tampa after they outshot the Owls 13-7 and controlled the pace of play. Wes Moore alongside Devin Serra. Wes, that assessment, Leon said they have got to be better in their own defensive zone. Rocco Bruno has come up clutch for them. What do you make of the assessment of this Tampa team?
I mean, Tampa's been great so far. Tampa's been aggressive, hard-hitting, great on the offense. They've been shooting shots all over the place. I don't know the exact shot total, but it was a lot. FAU took on a lot of shots. And the only reason that this isn't a 6-0 game is, as you said, Rocco Bruno, been super clutch. Great saves, 6 saves, glove saves, pad saves, all the saves you can ask for. He's been ours.
And I thought it was interesting how Leon Biller in that break said to us that it seems like his team, the message from Christian Long got, was they have more time and space than they realize. It feels like they've been hurried on a lot of these chances carrying the puck, as it's nearly shot on goal. Now it is by Nieuwendyk. Baser whiffed on the feed from Nieuwendyk. This line right here has got to get it going. This is the top unit and most of the scoring so far this year for the Owl crew. They're on a good forecheck. Pad stopped by Meyer. Nieuwendyk fishes it out as they get back to the attack. The transfer from Canisius. Oh, through the legs of Ziemba. He couldn't handle it at the blue line. It's a duo race for it. The Tampa's get it in, and a shot ring off the goalpost. That one was a beauty wrister. I don't know how in the world they got through the defense, as that was really well defended by Ziemba and Nieuwendyk, and the shot comes from Sylvia off the post.
And that great defensive stand from Ziemba. Ziemba does look a little shaken up from that. I think the shot might have gone off of him.
Well, you saw him collide and sandwich that streaking defender for Tampa, and then Nieuwendyk gets off and he gets back into the play, and Ziemba, you're right, slow to get up. He goes back to the bench now. We'll see if he comes back out on the ice later. Very dangerous opportunity, though, that rang off the iron. Not sure if Bruno got a piece. There's a seeing eye shot from the point that got off the pads and kicks out all the way to the red line. It's one-on-one. Blaze Pepe skates wide, takes one, well wide of the goal. Biller now gets to it. Pepe couldn't settle down the bouncing puck. Fortescue in after it, number 33 in black behind. Pepe, now Biller, turn it over into his own man. Biller had it back with 4 black sweaters in front of his shooting lane. Now quickly turned back the other way. Alex Moeller flipped down. This one settled under the skates, trying to quickly get over the line as Pepe. It's a 2-on-1 that develops. He whiffs on the wrister. Follow-up doesn't go. Meyer says no. Skied over the air. Beautiful feed that gets to Moeller. He's got a man in the middle if he wants him. And a great steal in that play by Declan Catone to slow things down. A steal, however, at the point. An opportunity into the glove of Bruno on the shot attempt by Colm Trainer. And he got a little bit after the fact there.
And this game starting to turn a little bit more into the one-on-one opportunities instead of a lot of the good shots Tampa has taken in the first period.
It was all Spartans throughout that first half of the period. Oh, yeah, Bruno somewhat got crashed into. We have a monitor to our left here at Boca Ice Center. We're watching on that, see if Colm Trainer got a piece of Rocco. They didn't have any forecheck life. They were continuously turning the puck over in their own end, and then Tampa would race up the other way, and the shots were evident of that. There's one that sails wide of Bruno. But they have not done a great job in transition. Now here's Tove in that exact move off a stick save from Meyer. Getting after it is the alternate winger, and David Ross. Great hip check laid out by Stabile. Tove falls to the ice with a man on the far wing. That's Z-line. Zealand gets to his legs now and reverses field. Great job sidestepping Stabile. Now an opportunity, losing handle with the puck. McCann stole it away. They got to break the Owls 3-on-2 if they hurry, but Stabile could not handle the feed from Campagne. Finishes his check anyway. Some hard hits behind the goal. This one carried from James Lawhorn. Lawhorn and Tove getting into a shoving match in front of the official. They tell him to go away. Some more pushing and shoving, and now they're going to send both Tove and Lawhorn for that shoving match behind the play.
Yeah, and this game's definitely getting more competitive. Even though Tampa has the edge, the 2-0 lead, it's starting to get back and forth. It's starting to get to the game that we thought it would be, the close, highly contested D2 championship winner against the Division I championship winner.
Yeah, it goes without saying, this rivalry really hasn't been as precedent because of the difference in division the past couple of years. These are two of the premier programs in College Hockey South. They have the best players. They have been the most talented. Of course, the championships speak for themselves. And now you got to think with the chippiness, how we assess this 4-on-4, who's this open ice going to benefit more? Owls arguably can keep up in speed. They have not handled the puck well when carrying on the forecheck. Brady Bezier is out there, number 88 in white. He'll have Jackson Newendike taking the draw. The opposite man for Tampa is Jake Staper, the junior of Flemington, New Jersey. Also played at Salem State in the 23-24 season. Alongside Jason Seafelt, number 6 for the Owls. We never got to it, but only a couple of scratches on both sides. And nothing notable. Jackson Newendike wins the draw. Oliverio from the point. Got a look towards the net. Shot into the glove of Meyer with Newendike pouncing on him.
And now that the tides have kind of changed a little bit, Meyer has been really great in goal. We're starting to see him get tested a little bit more and more, and he's standing true to the task, saving everything that's come his way.
He was terrific in the national championship run, Wes. Undefeated in 4 games, but that one went under his blocker pad and rang off the far post. Just as you were pumping his tires, he almost let in a softie. That was a nice shot from the right wing. Now in transition, quickly Tampa the other way. Defensively, handled well by Murphy, at least I thought he did, from Valise. And Bezier is there to help him along the boards. And just when you think this thing is going to turn on its head, Tampa somewhat catches a break right there. Some open ice to work. Over the right wing, they've got numbers. Bezier quickly tried to feed it out in front, and he whiffed on that passing attempt. Knocked to the ice by Fortescue, and it's Bezier back in. And you see that FAU's really just trying to control things when they have the puck. They're wanting to rush up the ice. They were a better rush team as this one is iced by Tampa. They're going to say, I don't know if they gained the run line. I don't know if that was the right call. They're okay. It was an icing on Tampa. But they're a really good run and gun team. FAU is, Wes. Have we seen that at all in this first part of the second?
We've seen an attempt at it, but as it's clear as day, you saw Brady Bezier going full speed down to the corner of the ice. He lost control of the puck, and that's kind of been the story that we've seen the entire first period and coming into the second period.
So a lack of execution plaguing this Owl group. But that's a good job holding the line in by Ronan Keenan, number 93 here. The sophomore back up to the point for Declan Catone. He looks towards the net, puts it intentionally wide into the hands of Biller. He tries to get around the captain in 44. 2 captains going at it with Danny Griffin. Keenan knifes the puck, unable to hold it in as Fortescue has a man racing with Alex Moeller. Good job getting rubbed off the puck by Biller. Help coming with Keenan along the boards. Unable to possess it in number 24, Satter Dahlin, who has the first goal of this game early in the first. Owls with 20 seconds of open ice to work before Tove and Lawhorn are let out of the box for those coincidentals. Biller over the Boca Ice logo. Skates wide. Absorbs a check. Button hooking. Satter Dahlin. Lost it, and it's a race back for Keenan as the 4-on-4 ends. Onto the ice, Tampa will bring Caden Hardy. He has the second goal of this game. Assisted by Jacob Penetrante, along with Robbie Seawagon. Take your pick. This Tampa group can get goal scoring in lines 1 through 4 and some of their defense. Bruno out of his net. Directs the puck to the far half boards. Wanted to cut off the angle. Seawagon flipped over his stick. Seafelt gets barreled into the boards along the far glass by O'Connell. allows Tampa the other way for a shot that sails well wide. Defended by Carozzo. Getting back after it, Seawagon. He gets smushed in by, over there, Seafelt, along with help coming from Catone. Owls in their own zone. Almost coughed it up at the blue line. They get it deeper to the right wing. Shot, Bruno came to challenge it. It's free on the opposite wing, and an Owl sweater is there to help him out. Good stop by Bruno. Even better defensive work there by the Owls, not allowing a backdoor opportunity. Carozzo from the logo. They're going to say that was iced as he did not gain the red line. It's a tough break.
And after that rebound by Rocco Bruno, I believe that was Aiden Georgiano coming from the M3 team last year that was just barely able to take that puck out and bring it down the ice. It was a great job by him to stop this game from being 3-0.
Yeah, so that's an underrated part of his game you're talking about, because all of M3 last year, the story was Georgiano, Cuccia, Sam Watson, Drew Renzi, and now moved up to this M2 team. By the way, the M3 group will take on Kennesaw State later tonight. That third line, Georgiano tags up with Cuccia. They have been terrific defensively. It doesn't show because obviously we don't track defensive stats all that much. Here's Tove at the red line. Stolen away by McCann. Cross ice feed to Zeeland. Put it back in front. Bouncing puck. Cleared out by White Sweaters. Owls, if they hurry, can get a break. Stabile knocked off on the shoulder by Zeeland. Tove in after it from the bench. Steered away by Zeeland. Stabile cuts off that part of the ice. Some more pushing, shoving, physicality in this big-time matchup in College Hockey South Division 2. Two of the best that this conference has to offer. Carozzo behind the net gets through the possession of McCann, and now it's lost all the way back to the Tampa blue line. So now you're starting to see a little bit of that back and forth. Neither side really flexing their muscles as much. Tampa got out to the faster start in this game. FAU has more of the chances so far in the second. 13:03 to go in that. Cole Valise stops on a dime. Gets around Murphy, stolen away. Owls with the opportunity. Baser, can he handle it this time? He gets help from Murphy, who sails a shot wide. Campagne at the point holds it. David Ross in there trying to get it deeper. Murphy desperately trying to fish it out from Hagelberger, who's down on the ice. Stolen away by Stapert. Now number 88 gets after it. That's Tyson Sylvia. Has not said his name a whole lot tonight. Rather, not Sylvia, Nick Fontaine, excuse me. Number 89. 12:26 left. Devin Serra, Wes Moore with you. Fontaine wants inside position, and Campagne takes him down, and that's a penalty coming up on Campagne. It's a trip.
This game's been super clean so far. That's only going to be the fourth penalty of the night, 2 from each team. Kind of ill-timed for FAU still. They are down 2-1, and a power play goal is not something you want to give up already down by a 2-goal deficit. This is going to be interesting to see how much pressure FAU tries to put on the Tampa power play.
This power play is very, very talented in the middle of the ice. The guy taking the draw, Satter Dahlin, their newcomer, tags up with a newcomer in Bashir as well. Will Fortescue is the quarterback of this at times, but Alex Moeller, number 3 on your screen out of Boyertown, Pennsylvania, is one of their best on this group. They win the draw. Fortescue gets it to Moeller on the right side of the ice. He lost handle for a moment. Now he'll hook, look towards the net, goes cross ice, some quick passes. This is Tampa's forte. They want to get a shot on Bruno. I think that caught a piece of the paddle. Good job sidestepping. Campagne, now Oliverio to help out on this kill. Tampa holds it in. Pepe wanted to pursue. Now it's funneled to the middle, to the right wing. A shot. That one's blocked in front by Oliverio. Biller wants after it. He's got 2 black sweaters in his face. Can Pepe kick it out? He does. Tampa has to reset over their red line. And it's stolen away. Nearly a shorthanded break. 2-0. Biller in front. He sailed it wide of goal. Set up by Pepe. And Tampa has more numbers. They've got 4 sweaters to the Owls, 3 back in the attack. Skating wide, getting around Murphy. Here's the first goal scorer, Satter Dahlin. 1 to go in the power play to the net. Backhand sailed past the blue paint. One more time up to the point. Danny Griffin, the captain, directs this to Satter-Dahlin. He calls for it back. Reverses to the left side of the ice. Stapert, one-timer blast, sails past the near post. From the neutral zone, Tampa thinks about a change, and they will make those. As the lone man to pursue it is the captain and Griffin, calling for it. Lentz, and that was through his legs on the stretch pass. That would have been another golden opportunity, and Lentz gets away with a trip right there on Colm Trainer, number 93. Some action-packed movement on this power play. Drops it off. Fontaine's back down out there. He flies down to the ice. Delayed penalty. They score! Robbie Seawagon, one-timer blast.
And in a power play that almost seemed like FAU had the advantage with two wide open, easy chances where they couldn't capitalize on it. Tampa comes right back. Robbie Seawagon with the delayed penalty on, slots it right past Rocco Bruno's top shoulder, makes it 3-0, a power play goal for the University of Tampa Spartans.
That feels like a knife to the chest. FAU with two golden shorthanded opportunities. They don't capitalize on it, and it's a goal for the fifth-year player out of Longhorn, Pennsylvania, his third of the year, and he was a prominent factor in their national title run a year ago. One of many seniors on this group, and with the delayed penalty called, I do not believe that they get the power play because of that. It's going to be 10:30 to go in this second period. We'll have to see. Murphy with Catone, and Bruno now pleading something to the official behind the play. And it is 5-on-4. Spartans will go to the power play. And in the box sitting for 2 minutes is Tommy Ziemba. How does FAU respond now? They've got to go to another kill, Wes, as Tampa goes 1 for 1 on the man advantage. Halfway gone in this second. Skating over the red line from right wing, Danny Griffin, the captain. Gets pocketed by Ross. Wanted to clear it out. Miscommunication at the blue line by the Tampa defenders. Forces Fontaine to carry. Alternate captain Valise. Nice feed in the middle. Sets up Fontaine as they get onside. Into the possession of Griffin. Valise with a sharp angle try. Sailed over top of the goal. This puck rolling on an edge gets all the way back to the trapezoid. That was fortunate for this Owl group as they made fresh changes on their PK. Blaise Pepe is out there along with Jake Murphy. Off to the bench goes Stabile, replaced by Biller. He'll pursue after the chasing Cole Valise. Right wing chance into Bruno, and he crashes into the end boards as the net came off its moorings. Just ever slightly.
And FAU hasn't been down 3-0, even 2-0 a lot this season so far. The first time they were down 2-0 to Florida, they ended up losing that one 3-1 away. And then after that, they were down 3-0 against a Miami team that even the M3 team was able to beat. Took them overtime once. It took a miracle Jackson Neuendijk hat trick to beat them. This is really going to show the character of what FAU has in them for the rest of the season.
Don't you wish we had real stats on what their comebacks look like? They didn't have to do it a whole lot as they cruised through the regular season for the most part. This one is won by Tampa with a shot. Pad stopped by Bruno. Gets help with his defensive unit. Blaise Pepe, he can fly. Short angle chance. Gloved by Meyer. That one out of his possession. Comes free where the racing forward for Tampa is Stapert. Back on side he goes through 3 defenders. Boxed out, he holds the blue line beautifully. Gets around all of the defense. A nice feed in front. The rebound chance. Bruno sprawls and a party ensues. Oliverio's in there. Some more shoving. Did Bruno make this stop? He did.
What a stop by Rocco Bruno. We've said his name all night. We've said his name all season. Again, he stands strong, just barely able to cover the puck as basically both teams collide onto him in his blue area. It's really impressive stop.
Yeah, trying to slam that one home was O'Connell. That was all set up by Jake Staper doing a beautiful job getting around the defense. It just goes to show you that skill on the Spartan side, the Flemington, New Jersey native. We've said his name a lot tonight. Scored 2 goals in the Owls win over this Tampa group last year. That's number 12 in black we're talking about. And this FAU group right now really needs to regroup. They have a player in the box. There was a penalty on that ensuing play on O'Connell for Tampa. So you've got 27 seconds of 4-on-4 before the Owls, if it stands, will go to another power play where they're 0 for 1.
And FAU looked really good on the 4-on-4. They started to build momentum and get a little traction back. This might be exactly what FAU needs to get back in this game.
They have got to get it past that big body goaltender and Kyle Meyer at 6'3". They win the draw from Neuendijk with some open ice. Murphy thought about a shot. He lost his eyes of the puck. Turn around. That was an easy glove stop for Meyer, who will get the whistle. 2 minutes for roughing is what it was called. And I just thought that was a casual O'Connell skating back to the bench. And what's important to remember is this Owl team, when they go to this power play, if they win the draw, can keep this group out there because this is essentially their power play unit with the top line. Murphy forced a turnover, put one in front. It was well defended by McCann on the strong side. Racing Penetrante, number 9, loses handle. He gets barreled over and pushed down by Olivero. He's held there as trying to possess Baser, gets stolen away. Griffin, Neuendijk gets through his body, and now on the power play is the Owls with the top line. Connects with Baser. Now Murphy drop pass for Neuendijk. Great job on the backtrack by Penetrante, and it's out of the zone. 8:09 to go. The most recent goal on the power play from Robbie Seawagon on a one-timer past the shoulders of Bruno. Oliverio skates alone all the way to the end boards. He's foiled. Neuendijk got it back, takes a look, drops it for Baser. Left side, Neuendijk wants a shot. Pad stop, kicks free to the trapezoid. Neuendijk with Baser there to help. Stops, waits, thinks about a shot, put one towards the net. Another try, Murphy, and Meyer got across in time. 42 to go in the power play. Murphy looks up, sees what his forecheck is. They're spread out. Him and Baser play tag. Murphy from the high slot drops it for Baser past the defender. Olivero and Murphy leave it there in the middle. Neuendijk gets around one defender. Baser calling for it and blocked off the backside of Fortescue. 22 left in this man advantage. Catone at the point now with Baser. Quick passes. Murphy. Baser wants it back. He's at the left wing. Got it for Neuendijk set up, and a good job in the stick lane was Danny Griffin. Neuendijk, 10 to go in it towards Meyer, and he gets help now with his defense of Fortescue, who takes a slash at Biller after the whistle, and I don't know if they're going to call anything on that. They'll all skate away.
And throughout this broadcast, we've talked about how good Rocco Bruno been. How good has Kyle Meyer been this game? He's been absolutely electric. The 6'3", 185-pound goaltender out of Tampa, Florida. The senior, previously playing Division III NCAA hockey for New England College.
You sound like Vince McMahon announcing a wrestler to the ring. He is a huge body, 6'3", and you can imagine on skates that's like 6'6", or 6'7". yeah, I said it. Out of the neutral zone, quickly racing. Kovalis to the net. Bruno made the stop, and he had a man crashing behind him in Stapert. FAU wanting to regroup. They have looked as uncoordinated as we've ever seen in this young season. If Tampa touches it, it would have been offside, so they had to go back to the neutral zone. Here's Vasiliev. Haven't said his name too much tonight. Seefeld along with Kuchia. This is the third line for FAU. Georgiano in with it to the right or left wing. Has helped 2 former M3 Owls in there. Kuchia seals the wall. And it's flipped from Valise. Back to Vasiliev, waiting for it at the opposite blue line. He'll go D-to-D with Carozo. Forwards this on Kuchia, who was tied up with a man in Geiderman. So that allows Tampa with a puck that goes way out of play up near the upper gondola here with Hagelberger. And that will stop play. This is not a gondola. This is a boardwalk. Yeah. Odd setup here at Boca Ice. We appreciate you watching, all 127 of you on Owl TV. This is the College Hockey South Game of the Week. These two teams will do this twice more tomorrow at 9:45 p.m., a late one, and then 4:30 p.m., both games on Owl TV and here at Boca Ice Center. An important draw for Tove. Owls lost all of their momentum from that foiled power play, although they had some good looks. Stabile. Carozo is there. Banked off the boards. Stabile wanted to get it back in front. Owls continue to press it deeper. Stabile under his wickets. Owl sweater between three defenders. That's David Ross, number 15. And shooting it out, but not. Stapert almost hit the official. Now a 2-on-1 almost develops. Fontaine got an opposite man there trying to set up Combe. He has it back, and the net came pushed off. Defensively trying to get back in that play, I believe, was Carozo, and he knocked the net off.
And I think Carozo was even hit from behind by number 93. I believe Colm Trainer hit him into the net. I don't think the referees are going to call anything on that. They're just going to reset the puck for a face-off.
We'll go to the left of Bruno. It's one off the shot, saved from Colm Trainer. Tries to dangle around defenders, and Owls have the breakout started. David Ross is foiled. This guy has been all over the ice tonight. Cole Satterdahlin. Tampa fans, you've got a good one there on that freshman, number 24 in black. Now Colm wants a man in the middle. Nobody home except white sweaters. It's given back up, shot through a couple of bodies, and trying to redirect was Moeller, now back in front with Bruno, who sprawls out for a stoppage. And another faceoff will come in FAU zone with 4:46 to play in the second period.
And again, time and time again, the only reason this game is not 6-0, 6-0, 8-0 is because of Rocco Bruno. He was just in the right space at the right time. The first shot going off of his glove. The second shot, he wasn't even looking at the puck. He just had his back skate pad just in the right spot to bounce the puck off.
As much credit as we've given to Rocco for being great with his pads, great with his glove, they've had a lot of rebound chances, and his defense has done better as the game has gone on. Nieuwendyk, cross-ice feed, wants it back in the middle. He's defended well, pressed off the puck, and we've got a whistle. It was James Lawhorn boxing him out, and what do we got? Net is off. Boy, Lawhorn, first goal of his career last weekend, or I should say ACHA career, against Liberty, but 91 has been great defensively tonight, and he's just boxed out right there, a former NCAA Division I product there in Nieuwendyk, coming off the hat trick. It's been kind of odd to see him be quiet, although he's had some shot opportunities. The newcomer playing only his third game as an FAU forward. The center out of Dallas, Texas. Played a lot of time in juniors. Sioux City Musketeers in the USHL. Also played in the British Columbia League with Pennington. Had his best numbers there, 103 games, 63 points. And Murphy, nobody around except the Spartans, who will get their own breakout going. Up left wing. In the middle, getting away from defenders is, for a moment, Geiderman. He was foiled. A racing Baser can fly. He gets past the defense to the backhand, and he put it wide of goal. There you go. That's his specialty right there, and can't find a lane to the net. Past Meyer. 4 minutes to go. It's just dumped back in by Ziemba. Good to see him back out there. I know we were talking about him being roughed up at the start of this second period. Number 14 in white. Oliverio has it now. The alternate captain will flip it to number 44. Griffin is there, but it went through his legs. Here's Pepe trying to center it up. Diving play made. They stick with it. And O'Connell with help from Griffin. From harm's way from now. Keenan now back to the point. Ziemba stolen. And from one skate, Bashir looks to be in a heap of pain. He got his left skate blade ran into. From one leg, Bashir is hurt. He's got to get back to the bench. As the Owls defensively, Vasiliev gets into play. Number 2 stays out there. Bashir, tough, gritty player, the freshman, Winthrop, Massachusetts native, stays with it. He gets help deep to the boards. Zeeland is in there, and it's freed up to the neutral zone. Bashir, we'll see if he stays on the ice. He does for now. That's a tough guy right there, a freshman too. It's everybody on this Tampa group, all forwards, all 24 skaters, including defensemen. Over the Boca logo, Billy McCann, Bashir, foiled for a moment, seeing eye shot into the pads of Bruno with nobody there to pick up any rebound as he swallows. 2:30 left in the second period. Devin Serra and Wes Moore. And Wes, simply just give us your assessment of what's happened in this game.
The first period really started all Tampa, just starting from the beginning, and then FAU started getting their chances in a little bit more. Second period started back and forth, and then this past 4 minutes has been all about Tampa's defense. They've been diving, blocking pucks. I think by my count, I've counted maybe 5 or 6 just block shots that FAU had a really good chance. It's just been foiled by a University of Tampa player just throwing their body out and blocking the shot.
It's an unselfish group. Nick Kuzlik has these guys wired. And you see it from all of their lines. Just play as a unit. Nobody is really that selfish carrying the puck as they are offside. But this line in particular, even though they haven't scored a whole bunch, has been terrific as well. Jake Stapert scored 2 goals last year. We talked about that against FAU, scored 2 goals. But Nick Fontaine is off to a great start to his season, a goal and 2 assists. Number 89, they just have guys that confidently carry the puck. You see that nobody hurries the play. Everybody contributes, and the biggest thing for them is they have kept the penalties down to a minimum. Owls are 0 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. Leon Biller, the captain, with Murphy. With 2 minutes to go in this period, they've got to do something at the end of this to gain some life. Neuendijk. He's turned around by 3 players, leads to a lone break. 2 men to the net, they wait, and Bruno with a confident glove stop on Alex Moeller.
And all night we've seen Tampa have these 1-on-1, 2-on-1 opportunities with just the goalkeeper left. Rocco Bruno making another amazing save, just sticking out his glove and catching the puck.
That all happens because the Owls had 5 of their forwards past the red line, nobody back ready. And really, Moeller just jumped on that puck that was flown out to him. Tampa with a unfortunate, I guess, save, because Bruno has kept the Owls in this game. 1:33 to go in the second period. It's flipped deep by the lone defender back there, and Georgiano hit laid out. This one is carried with Colm Trainer. And the Tampa Spartans are offsides, much to the chagrin of their bench. We appreciate you watching us. Mitch Liswith, our producer, this great Owl TV staff on hand. We've had a busy first semester. We've already done, I think I'd count them between Division III and Division II, about 6 or 7 games here, Wes.
I think this is our 3rd late nighter with the 9:45 game coming up for M3 against Kent State.
Kennesaw State, yeah, we got a double header. It will be here until the wee hours of the morning. Another one of those, and tomorrow as well. Wes Moore will be on the call. I'll be joined alongside him at the conclusion of this one. Stabile, here the Owls come. in the offensive zone, but it was quickly turned over. Robbie Seawagon, who has the most recent goal for Tampa on the power play, races to the end boards. Campagne tries to fish it out with Tove. 3 white sweaters collapse in on him. They'll try and sail it out. Successful bank pass with a man racing in, and Meyer says no on Stabile. He's crunched to the boards by O'Connell, and up to the point. Some errant passing by Penetrante looking for McCann. Gets loose. Campagne's pushed in. Owls now just have to hold on for dear life. It's 3-0 Spartans as we near the close of this second period, and that's into the glove of Rocco Bruno from Braden Geiterman. And we will have an interview for you coming up with a Tampa Spartan at the break. Stay tuned for that. This will be the first of 6 meetings in the regular season for these two teams. They'll do battle until Sunday, and then they will play again February 6th through the 8th from Clearwater Ice Arena, home of this Tampa group, who have only played at home their first 3 games. They're 2-1 on the year. Shot from Griffin, went off his own man. A follow-up off the shoulder. Bruno down on the ice. It's loose in the paint, and it's sent wide by Nick Zeeland as time expires. The Owls survive, but not without some more harm done. The lone goal of the second on the power play by Seawagon, and we head to the break. Tampa taking it to their rivals on the College Hockey South Game of the Week on Owl TV. Third period begins now at Boca Ice Center. The Tampa Spartans are up 3-0 from the most recent power play goal by Robbie Seawagon with about 7 minutes to go in the third period. We were going to catch up with a UT player at the break, but that's not going to be possible for now, so we'll get whoever we can later after the postgame. Devin Serra alongside Wesley Moore. This has been mostly Tampa's game. They are out shooting the Owls 30-16 after 2 periods. They've controlled the pace of play, and without Rocco Bruno, this would have been a much larger score up to this point.
Yeah, this game would have been out of hand if FAU did not have Rocco Bruno in net. He's been very solid. 2 of those 3 goals, not his fault at all. Just catching him out of position, or he was all the way across the ice. But yeah, FAU has looked discombobulated at points, put a couple strong periods together, but overall this has been all Tampa.
Yeah, this Spartan team led by Nick Kuzlik in his 3rd season at the helm has looked the part. They're one of the best in the conference, and they're trying to become one of the best in the nation in men's Division II. Here's a backhand chance, pad stop off of the Biller backhand made by Meyer, who has not been too tested tonight, but good when he's had to be. He's pitching a 17 save, you know what by now. As this wraps around the Tampa end boards, Murphy at the point, trying to keep it deeper. Baser with a chance, and they score!
And just what they need, Brady Bazier, the speedy forward, using some of those moves to just get it right back past Meyer, as you can hear this barn just explode as that goal goes in. This game is not over, folks. It is 3-1. Tampa still up.
Persistence at the blue line by Murphy, and Baser from the slot finds a shot over the glove. Might have skipped the part of the leather from Meyer, but the savvy speedster out of Longhorn, Pennsylvania, his team leading 8th goal of the season, and they needed that one in a big way within the first minute to begin this final frame. And now, Wes, if they can find a way to ride that, this is a whole new hockey game. They'll get a face-off in their own zone, as that's Ronan Keenan trying to get explanation from the linesman about something. And I'm not sure if he's talking about the formation of Tampa's defensive players that changed on the ice. They brought out some fresh lines. Nonetheless, we'll go anyway now. Sticking in for the Spartans, Alex Moeller. He loses that to Keenan. Oliverio races after, gets smashed to the boards by Trainer, but he took a hit to make the play as it came through the opposite blue line. Oliverio, as this is Keenan in 93, backtracking. Ziemba up left wing quickly. Kuchia trying to get towards the opposing blue line. Keenan lifts the stick of the defending Geiterman. That's a starting defenseman back out there for Tampa. From the blue line, Averio sent this one towards the net. It was redirected by Satter Dahlin. Tommy Ziemba. Alex Moeller has it for Tampa as Oliverio backtracks with Keenan. Good job by this third line on both sides of the ice as Tampa gets some changes in their own end. Watson, or rather David Ross. Watson you'll see a little bit later tonight coming up as the M3 FAU Owls take on Kennesaw State. That FAU group needs a bounce-back performance, Wes. They have dropped 3 of the last 4 and tied Jacksonville, ACDC, last weekend. Oliverio has it for Ross. Finishing the check on him was Zeeland, and it's sent back the length of the ice by Fortescue. Did they say it was at the red line? It sounds like it was iced, so Fortescue with an inopportune time. Going on also just across the state, UCF taking on South Florida. And the War on I-4 game, that is a rivalry as well there, Wes, between 2 squads that don't like each other, kind of like tonight. You could call this a bit of a rivalry game here. Had the chance to sit down with UCF goaltender the other night, Andrew Cass, on the latest edition of College Hockey Mouth, the newest College Hockey South podcast. Props to Gavin Coker from Florida Southern, the Moccasins, who helps produce that show, along with our illustrious leaders, Danny Bohm, and the great interns on staff. Weekend episodes dropping every Friday at noon Eastern time. Here comes Tampa, back the other way, they score! Zeeland sets up McCann, and Tampa reclaims the 3-goal advantage.
Just as FAU started to get a little bit of that momentum back, Tampa comes right back and puts it right past Rocco Bruno. Zeeland, the number 3 goal scorer, the junior returning from last year, 22 points on the year last year, adds another point to his total tonight.
And for Billy McCann, that's his first goal of the season for the North Reading, Massachusetts native in his 5th year. As many as 13 seniors on this Tampa group, and he adds to a night that has been simply controlled by them. You could borderline use the word dominant, although FAU has had their chances, and now they are staring at a big 3-goal hole once again. Catone and this group facing the most adversity they have in this young season. They did drop a game to Florida in their opening weekend, but that was in game 3 of a long opening weekend for them. As this puck might have been called out of play. It's coming back to Tampa zone. I lost sight of the puck. 16:41 to go in this period. And Wes, we're getting really into witching hour time. You feel like this is an important face-off for them. Let's see how aggressive they get. Nieuwendyk loses the face-off draw as Penetrante has a lane with speed. Gets around one defender. No, he doesn't. Lost his stick. Baser kicked it away from him for a moment. Allows the captain Leon Bither with some space. Forwards it ahead. Quick passes and an errant flip out by Nieuwendyk, who received the pass from Baser and couldn't handle it. And at times, that's been their problem. They have not had some clean passes. Yeah,
definitely. The passes have either not been great or ill-controlled. FAU's had that problem all night. They've been flicking it out of the arena, out of the ice all night. It's something fixable, but it's something that's definitely been seen all night.
I think that's the key word you're looking for. Is there's a good hip check by Nieuwendyk on Caden Hardy. Is it's fixable. Here's an opportunity in front. They score! Just like that. Brady Baser, that's second of this game.
Yeah, as you were saying, the second goal from Brady Baser, making this game a game again. We saw it's 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2. We're back to a game again. The game is not over, still 16 minutes left to play.
Some back and forth. In the first 4 minutes, we have 3 goals. Brady Baser now. Golly, this guy is off to a heater to start his season. That's now number 9 on the year and 13th point. He was named CHS second star of the month, Wes, and he had points in all but 4 games last year. That's a top-line contributor who has the puck again over the Boca logo. Wants to get inside the defender. He'll shoulder off Fontaine once, twice, and handled the puck 3 times. He's got help with the captain, Biller. Baser with a shot, sailed it into the glove of Kyle Meyer. And now, every time 88 touches the puck, you get that fuzzy feeling. He's feeling it.
Yeah, you get 2 goals in any game. You can tell someone's starting to feel it. You can tell he's getting his confidence. Every time he touches the puck, he just kicks it into another gear trying to score.
Errant turnover. Ronan Keenan flies into the air. Fortescue in and out of his glove. Kicked inside the line. Catone, and what's going on here?
Did they just call that offsides?
Blaze Pepe, confused as ever what the call was. The official motion, almost sort of like a face mask there, Wes. Now let's see what the assess is. It was kept in at the line by Pepe. It was well inside the zone. They're forcing it back out now. I'll be honest, I'm stumped. I have no idea why this puck is coming outside of Tampa's zone. Did they say it was played with a hand pass?
I just looked up at the screen and tried to watch what just happened. I have no idea. I'm confused.
We have an external monitor here we can see a delay on. Nonetheless, Owls are back in the offensive zone. Great keeping by Cuccia, but Tampa gets the puck to the strong side with numbers. Fortescue, foiled though. Tove got it back on side. Pepe wanted to feed Cuccia on the backhand. It's sealing the near post is Kyle Meyer, and we'll do it again.
That was a great leg peg stop by Kyle Meyer. Yeah, it's really impressive. The backhand feed into the net. He just stopped it with his right back leg. Really impressive.
Yeah, Meyer now, who's all of a sudden looked shaky at the beginning of this third period. FAU has got to have it, and now they're going to call this one. They're going to say it was gloved by an Owl sweater, and that's why it's coming outside of the zone this time. That one was actually pretty accurate. Can't put your hand on the puck. So, off that draw, a little bit of start, a little bit of stop. This might be what this Owl team needs right now to get back into it. Tampa, turned over by Stabile, shot well high. Caught a piece of the end-board glass, keeps the play going. Satter-Dahlin is in there. Gives it for Colm Trainer, who has a heap of speed. Jake Murphy gets around a couple of defenders. Stabile played it off the skate as it was bounced to the far wing. Back in front towards Bruno. Shot never comes. Stabile banked off the boards into the hands of James Lawhorn and wrapped around their own end boards. Kept going by Trainer. Stabile races up ice as his team is changing. Aaron Lentz into the play. Gets around the freshman and Satter-Dahlin, who has a goal in this game. Nobody home except Albert Lyon, number 6 for Tampa. Oliverio is offside as Seafelt just got ahead of that play.
And the tides are starting to turn here in the third period. 13:45 left in the game. FAU's down 2, but you can start seeing those chances that they're starting to have.
Yeah, it looks almost like a sort of confidence. It seemed like before they were second-guessing themselves and either waiting too long to send a puck to somebody, trying to get a quick shot on, and just not creating quality opportunities for themselves. But now you're seeing with 2 quick goals by one of their leaders in Bezier that they have some momentum. Here's Georgiano from the end boards. Lentz and this Owl group starting to lay the lumber a little more, matching what was a Tampa team that really took it in the physicality department to this Owl group. Ziemba with a miscommunication with Lentz allows the Nick Zealand player to race in. Sharp angle chance off the pads of Bruno. It's loose in the high or low slot. Lentz gets after it. Oliverio with Zealand. One more crushing hit from Ziemba. Seafelt boxes a man out, trying to lift him Bashir, and Ziemba with some room from Seafelt. Turned it over. Quick turnaround try well wide of the goal as Georgiano and the former M3 Owls get after it. He's knocked down to the ice. No call coming. Oliverio finishes the check as Tampa will make fresh line changes. 12:45 to go in this third period. The fireworks have gotten going. 3 goals in the first 4 minutes, both by Brady Bazier for FAU, and then most recently Billy McCann, set up by Nick Zeeland off the skate of a Tampa sweater. That's O'Connell, and that will go out of play. As coming up after this, Wes Moore will have play-by-play for you as Kennesaw State takes on the M3 Owls, 9:45 p.m. Eastern on Owl TV. And we'll also do this tomorrow at that time with these two teams, 9:45 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday. If you're as crazy as us, we'll see if some other games are going on. Maybe you can get a or I guess you can call it a quad box of games going, ACHA style. Of course, you can also watch college football, but who would do that? You got all this great hockey to watch. Jackson Neuendijk out of his own blue line. Bazier is back on the ice. He's number 88. Jake Murphy with a look in and out of the hands of Meyer. Off the back of Bazier, allows him to race the puck. He tries to cut through 3 defenders, gets wide with it, dropped it for Neuendijk, who gives the return feed to the end boards to get it deeper, trying to get it out. Stapert from the blue line. Biller holds it in, and it's immediately intercepted by Valise. He connects with Fontaine as they rush in transition. Valise a shot through Murphy, never got to Bruno, as Bazier and the Owls and Neuendijk have speed. Bazier, drop pass for Neuendijk. He'll get around one man, give it to Murphy. Bazier back in front through his legs. Kuchia has a lane to shoot, and he hit it off the back of James Lawhorn, getting into the play as a whistle is called. And what do we have here? Owls in the, looked like a fast break develop and then started to set up a forecheck, and Kuchia just could not get a shot through that went off of Longhorn. That's a great defensive play made. I think this one went out of play, actually.
And time
did
again.
Did you see a motion for a penalty? I did.
I didn't see a motion.
I was looking at both officials, Wes, to see if we had something come off. And my assumption,
I mean, they put 2 minutes up on the board on the visitor side.
My assumption that it went out of play was wrong. With 11:23 to go actually on the clock, they're trying to get that right. It says 11:04 on your screen. 2 minutes on the box on the visitor side, which would indicate a Tampa penalty. What do we have? 5 minutes, and in the box for them is Albert Lyons. So this is a power play for FAU. They're 0 for 2 on the night in the most crucial point of this game right now. Too many men. Okay. No wonder we didn't see a quick signal as there was a discussion. So this is Declan Catone getting pushed to the opposite bench boards as a too many men penalty allows the Owls on their third power play. Catone to the point, quickly moves it for Georgiano. Catone back, shot through a couple of bodies. Myers got it in his glove, and he'll cover for another whistle draw.
And this is exactly what FAU needs to get themselves within 1 goal of this game. 1 goal on this power play could easily make it 4-3. And just easily with this power play is going to end with like 9 minutes left. Plenty of time to make something happen.
Clearly, right? There's still halfway to go in this hockey game in the third. Jackson Neuendijk, number 92, has been quiet for most of the night. He had a hat trick against Miami in somewhat what was their comeback victory over the Hurricanes. Now they're going to kick out of the circle Nick Zeeland. He'll be replaced by Bashir. And Bashir did a good job, but the Owls get it back. Murphy up to the point for Oliverio. Takes a look to the net, gives it left wing. There's Bazier with 2 goals in this period. Quick passes. Murphy thinks about it. Takes one. Down on the ice. Fortescue wraps a man. He just totally wrapped a Bazier with a one-timer saved by Meyer. And they're going to get Fortescue here for a penalty. That was a wrestling move. He took the arm of Murphy and just slammed him over his own body. So this is going to be a 5-on-3. If there's a penalty on Fortescue, they were motioning to him.
I'm going to make a wild guess that that's going to be a holding.
I mean, if we were talking WWE, that would have been textbook. I think they call that a missile drop. I'm not really sure. But it is 2 minutes on the board. This is going to be a 5-on-3 power play, and it is Fortescue in the box. Here we go. Owls with an opportunity of the lifetime. Oliverio, Nieuwendyk, back for Oliverio. Thinks about Murphy to the right side. They put it in the middle, and it was a great defensive intercept by Jake Stapert. That retreats the Owls for now. They've got 41 seconds left in the 5-on-3. The alternate captain, Oliverio, carries over the blue line. He'll switch places with Bezier. Give it to Nieuwendyk. Back for Murphy. Takes one on the net. Bezier! And another great stop by Meyer. Robs the Pennsylvania native of the hat trick.
I thought that went in for a second. That was a great save by Meyer. Just barely sticking out his pad to block that from going in. What a stop.
What a stop indeed. Bezier with the 2 goals for FAU in this period, but they're not done yet. 22 to go. Stick flies in the air. This is only 2 Tampa players with a stick. Oliverio for Nieuwendyk to the net, and he rang a piece of the iron. 12 to go in the 5-on-3. Oliverio one more time for Nieuwendyk. Sailed it high. With 6 to go until a man races out. We set up Bezier on the left side, and we've got a whistle. What is it here? And they're going to send Nieuwendyk? That kills everything on that power play. It's an interference penalty on Jackson Nieuwendyk.
Wow, do the tides turn? All the chances in the world for FAU. And now with the Nieuwendyk penalty, everything is just switched.
That means we're going to have 2 minutes of 2 seconds of 4-on-3. Racing out of the box will be lined. We're going to have 4-on-4 for exactly a minute. And then if that holds, a Tampa power play. But the Owls, out of all of that, are still without a power play goal in this game. They dropped to 0-4. Jake Murphy kicked it off his own skate blade. Owls have got to make the most of this 4-on-4 right now. 9:05 to go in this third period. Bezier gets around one man. Nice move. Wants it in the middle. Murphy couldn't get to that puck in time. Tampa's got numbers the other way. Bezier rubs him in off the puck, and they're going to call a penalty on Bezier.
I believe that's going to be a tripping penalty. The open ice.
The official on the far side of the play, you're right, it is a trip. Called that one next to Rocco Bruno. So just as Tampa took 2 brutal penalties, the Owls follow it up, and it's 2 of their top players. So now you really got open ice here, and it's 4-on-3 for the Fortescue takedown of Murphy. Then you're going to have roughly a minute of more time. Here comes the Spartans, way out to play it. Bruno down on his legs. The defender in front, Biller, as look out, awkward collision. Oliverio is down. He got smashed in a heap of pain. He gets back into the play. Some open ice. Fontaine back in. Thinks about a wraparound, gives it backdoor. They score. Wide open net. Cole Valise finishes on the power play. And Tampa, for the 3rd time tonight, has a 3-goal advantage.
And that was a textbook feed by Nicholas Fontaine, feeding it right to one of the Tampa players. I couldn't catch who it was. It was Cole Valise. Just perfect hockey. Had Rocco Bruno going to one side to cut off the shot. Passed it across the ice. Rocco Bruno couldn't react quick enough as Valise just smashes it past him. 5-2, taking the air out of this building.
No chance for Bruno on that play. Oliverio got shaken up in a tough way. I hope he's all right. An awkward collision, shoulder first, into the far half boards. But just like that, the alternate captain has his first of this contest. And now you've got goal scorers from 5 different Spartans. The depth showing up for them. They are still on the power play for that Baser trip. Some quick passes, and they score again. Jake Stapert finishes it.
And right after they make it a 3-goal lead again, they're going to make it 4 after Jake Stapert smashes one right past Rocco Bruno. He barely even had a chance on that one. That was hit hard.
It's been a tough night for the first star of the month that is Rocco Bruno in net to our right. That's now the 3rd power play goal for Tampa tonight, folks. And my assessment, they are perfect. 3 for 3. And as talented as a team as FAU is, you just cannot take those bad ones. They had all of the life in the air. This felt like a brand new hockey game after Baser scored 2 early in this 3rd period, and all of that is gone. It's a commanding 6-2 advantage as Tampa is looking at taking game 1 of this 3-game set. Baser is back out on the ice. He's got 2 in this game. Handled by Billy McCann. He'll give it backwards for Albert Lyon as our score sheet got busy. So we know Moeller gets at least 1 assist on that. That is 2 apples on the night for the sophomore out of Boyertown, Pennsylvania. It was said in a couple of broadcasts that we listened to, he has a nose for the net. Tonight he's distributing the puck well with 7:16 to go. Devin Serra alongside Wes Moore. We appreciate all of you watching this College Hockey South game of the week. And this one, Tampa was the favored team in this coming in, Wes, and they looked the part.
Yeah, definitely. They've controlled every aspect of this game as far as physicality, passing, goal scoring. Just it's been all Tampa almost all night, minus the 2 goals FAU scored. But besides that, they've just looked outskilled.
There's a shot well wide from the point by Lyon. Went under the legs of Zalen. Owls get an opportunity with their top line back out there. Jackson Neuendijk to the net. Sailed a shot wide of the glove side of Meyer. Neuendijk has had a quiet night. Jake Murphy and Brady Baser have done most of the scoring. As a second whack from Baser is going to draw a crowd. And now Biller is in there, the captain, defending his winger. They'll all separate as the linesmen get in there to get in the way of this. They push away Zeeland, and this is the time where you would see this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, definitely. You see the frustration of the Florida Atlantic team starting to boil over a little bit. You saw it with Brady Baser trying to get an extra hit on Meyer.
And with the game tomorrow, exactly 24 hours from now, as we'll drop the puck tomorrow at 9:45. This game is, without barring the craziest comeback you've seen in the last 20 years, Tampa's going to take game 1, and anything that is physical or chippy will carry over into the tomorrow. The only player that Owls had out due to just non-injury, or rather scratch, was Finn Moore, who received a disqualification against Miami on the road last week. So he'll be back tomorrow, number 2 on the blue line. Regardless, though, Tampa with now, as we said, 6 different goal scorers. We'll name all of those for you in the postgame. And a lot of fans over in West Florida are very happy with this result. They look like the dominant team right now in College Hockey South. There's another opportunity. Shot sailed over top of the crossbar. That was in front. Caden Hardy, and a follow-up scores. That's Tim O'Connell. Make that 7.
Yeah, this game's getting out of hand now. That's shot up to a 5-goal lead for the University of Tampa Spartans. FAU looking a little tired. You don't see that much from this Florida Atlantic team especially.
They're definitely deflated, and it's no surprise. They had the most life they've had in this game since the early portion of it, right? You get 2 goals from Bezier within 3 minutes, and then you get a 5-on-3. You don't finish on it. You take 2 bad penalties from your top guys in Newendijk and Bezier, and now 2 pucks are in the back of your net, and just like that, the game is all but over. So this Owl team is still, I wouldn't say they're out of this series entirely. They had their looks in the second period. If they have the start, though, they did tonight, again tomorrow, it's going to be more of the same as this Tampa group, led by Nick Kuzlik in his 3rd season at the helm, buzzes on all lines. And they've shown it with 7 different goal scorers and 3 on the power play tonight. And 2 players get into it in front of the blue line. We get a whistle from the linesman. I don't know why they stopped the play for that unless they're giving these guys coincidentals, which they're not. I didn't see an indication for offside. Oh, yeah, I guess it was because the Owl player did not touch it. That was whiffing on the clear, Oliverio. Good to see him back out there after he had that awkward collision just before the 2 Tampa goals that made it 5-2 and 6-2. And this puck is way out of play at the far half boards. Hope the official behind sees that puck. We've got 2 pucks on the ice. There you go. One of the Owls on the M3 team sent it back. And that game is coming up very shortly. Wesley Moore will have play-by-play. They'll all be on color. And with 5 minutes to go, we're starting to look forward to that game. M3 Owls, they got to get back on track, Wes. They have had a rough last 2 weeks as they call a whistle here. This is going to be a penalty. I think it's on FAU. As getting upended was Jake Stapert, and going to the box is Tommy Ziemba.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, now is when we see those frustrations start to boil over. Jake Stapert getting blown up.
It's a roughing on Ziemba. 4th power play of the night for Tampa. They are perfect, 3 for 3. And a reminder, folks, with the new ACHA ranking system, these 2 teams, they will play 6 more times. Every goal matters because of the ranking point system. A goal difference matters about 2nd and 3rd as much as your head-to-head win, and more specifically, the bigger the gap, the more the win or the game is weighted. Here's a short opportunity, and they get another. First repeat goal scorer is Cole Valise, as Bruno did not seal his near post well and make that 8 goals and 4 on the power play.
And that was a really impressive shot. He almost shot that from the full 180 degrees on Rocco Bruno, just slipping it in that near post. Really impressive for UT.
And I was just talking about that goal differential here, Wes. Make that 6. That is going to look very weighted regardless of what happens the rest of this series. And it's so early to be talking about rankings. We're not going to get one until, I believe, the month of November. When you're these 2 teams, though, with the strength of schedule they're dealing with, every game matters. Every point matters. And with a 3-team conference, FAU has got to regroup for tomorrow. Brady Bezier has been their only source of life. He's got 2 in this game. He skates alone through 3 defenders. Jake Murphy has help with him. Shot towards Meyer as Biller, the captain, handles with it out of his own end. Oliverio, slap shot, rebound, put wide. Biller off the side of the goal. Murphy. It's just been that kind of night for him. They stick with the play. Biller trying to ride something. Murphy one more time, and Meyer gobbles that up. And some more shoving as Bezier and Cole Trainer are getting into it. Trainer is going to be separated. He's still jawing over there with number 88 in white, and now we'll go back to the bench. Love to see the fight from FAU, even though they're down by a heap.
And this is definitely the kind of momentum that you can take into Saturday, into the next game. Because even though you lose big, it's the way you end that can take you into the next game.
Yeah, you're correct about that. Tell you what, we have not given our flowers yet to Kyle Meyer. He has been as good as they come. He's a previous all-conference 13 member in what was CHS Division I, and he was named the College Hockey South third star of the month just recently. So the Owls, trying to find something they can ride in tomorrow, are down big. Ronan Keenan gets away with a cross-check. Blaze Pepe has it up to the point for Catone. Takes one through a screen of bodies. That never got to the net. Off the end boards. Tampa's Albert Lyon will control, and this is saucered way out to the opposite corner, and that's an icing called on Tampa. Spartans are on their way to going 3-1. They split with South Carolina to start this season, and we'll find out who the goaltenders are tomorrow. I have an idea, though. It will be a different one, at least for FAU, as they have one start this year for Gunnar Stevens, and that's a win over Georgia Tech in a big way, 6-2 a weekend ago. But Wes, on that other side, Tampa, they've got Sebastian Fontana, who was pulled in their 6-3 loss against the Gamecocks, where he allowed 4 goals on 9 shots in the first period. It'll be interesting to see the goaltender decisions. Blaze Pepe can't get after a puck. Cuccia stole it away. Great backdoor feed, and Pepe put it off the side of the goal. Some excitement for it being what it is, and the Owls once again are foiled. Marco Bashir, talented freshman, or number 2 in black, race back. He pushes Keenan up to the near corner boards. Wrapped around the end boards, slapped further along by Billy McCann, who has a goal in this game on the 4th one for Tampa tonight. And this one is called icing.
And this game's really becoming a lot similar to that victory Florida Atlantic had over Georgia Tech. I believe it was 6-0.
6-2, yeah.
6-2. Even though that was a big deficit there, it seemed a lot closer than it actually was. This game, especially towards the end, is seeming a lot closer than an 8-2 lead. And this game's been kept separate by Myers. Myers has been awesome, electric all night.
Yeah, and 5 third-period goals will do that. Tampa started things from McCann, who I just mentioned, and Bezier came to life. 2 goals in between McCann's. And then after that, it was back-to-back power play goals. The latest one they have was from Cole Valise. And with a perfect power play against this quality of team, it's just not going to cut it. Not that they took a ton of penalties. And this Spartan group showing why they are one of the best, and really the best in College Hockey South right now. And they could be talking about a Nationals bid in just 4 months' time. So with 2 minutes to go in this one, they will fish for it. Cotter, Georgiano in the third line. He gets bumped off the puck by O'Connell. Shot from the point, went off the shoulder of his own man in front. That was McCann. And Aaron Lentz stretches it. It's stolen away. Onside stays McCann, as getting shouldered in the face was Hardy. Shot towards Bruno, stepped aside. Georgiano pressed into the boards to the applause of his Tampa bench. Number 28 there, getting into it with Georgiano behind the play. That's Hardy. They're separated by Penetrante, who says, hey, let's get going, boys, because this one is all but over. 7 different goal scorers tonight for Tampa. The only repeat, Cole Valise. And the only goal scorer for FAU in this game, number 88, Brady Bezier. 9 goals on the year. That's team leading. Murphy on side, into the pads of Meyer. as we have exactly 1 to go in this. We'll have an abbreviated post game as Wes and I get ready for M3 FAU taking on Kennesaw State. Owls are 1-4, but hey, their only win this year was against undefeated South Carolina, and that program through 2 years had not lost a game up until facing the Owls. The Yellow Owls, that is. The Battle of the Owls. The Battle of the Hoot? I don't know what we're going to call it.
Owls in the trees, owls on the ground. Burrowing owls in Boca. Trees in Georgia, I think is what Kennesaw State is.
Yep, Sewanee. You know, we could just leave it at we hope that game's a hoot. And a holler, if you get my dollar. 33 to go in this game. Tampa, one last shot, they score. That was a beautiful wrister by Robbie Seawagon. He's got 2.
Yeah, just as this game is over, seemingly over, there's still more from Robbie Seawagon putting in his 2nd of the night. You mentioned goal differential affecting the rankings. 7 goals. That'll do something.
You know what that'll also do something is Rocco Bruno, you got to wonder where he's at mentally. He's a guy that resets, 5 career shutouts, 2 this year alone. They're going to have to reset quickly because Rocco will be back in net at some point this series. Tonight's score got out of hand in the 3rd period. Tampa led by 3 goals at 3 separate instances before they broke this one open. And the Spartans, in the first meeting in a year, come back to Boca. They take down FAU in the College Hockey South Game of the Week. 7 different goal scorers, 4 for 4 on the power play, and they will give their hugs to Kyle Meyer on a 9-2 win.
So overall, super impressive game from the Tampa side. 2 different 2-goal scores. This is something we're used to seeing from the FAU side. Tampa overpowered them all game. Better goalkeeping, better scoring, better everything.
Better everything indeed. Let's give you your goal scores for Tampa because there is too much to recap in this one. It was started by Cole Satterdahl, his 2nd of the year. This was in the 1st period as well, followed up by Caden Hardy. We went into the 2nd, 2-0 Tampa lead. Robbie Seawagon got his 1st on the power play, and that's where the man advantages really shined. He had a nice assist by Jacob Penetrante, along with Seawagon, who will officially finish this game on my sheet with 2 goals, and an assist. The Owls answered back to start the 3rd. Brady Bezier made this one interesting. Less than a minute later, it was McCann scoring. But then Bezier again, and within the first 4 minutes of the 3rd, we had a 4-2 hockey game. Owls went to a 5-on-3 power play. They could not score, and then 2 penalties on Jackson Neuendijk and Brady Bezier killed that. It led to 2 power play goals consecutively for Cole Valise and Jake Stapert for Tampa. And then from there, the floodgates open. Goals by Tim O'Connell, followed up by Valise's 2nd, and finally the 4th power play goal by Seawagon just moments ago. So as we look towards tomorrow, Wes, quick game recap done with. What does FAU have to do to wash this one?
FAU just needs to have a really short memory, forget about this game completely, and come back tomorrow with the same mentality they had to start the game, which was win, basically. Be true to who they are as a team, because they are one of the best teams in College Hockey South, even in ACHA as well in their division. So I think they should just see this game as a fluke and move on.
Short memory like a goldfish. And we'll make like a goldfish in this game. Get out of here. 15 minutes time, we'll start getting ready for M3 FAU taking on Kennesaw State, the Battle of the Hoot. Coming up next, Wes Moore will be on the call, I'll be on color. For our entire production staff, Mitch Liswith, our producer, all of our camera personnel, Kim Casey, rest of our great people here on hand, thank you for listening to this broadcast of Owl M2 Hockey on Owl TV. Final score, Tampa 9, FAU 2.